Hey guys, Panda1712 Gaming here, and I just finished playing FNAF Security Breach Ruin, and my goodness, it is a good DLC. It's got lots of lore implications and really cool gameplay mechanics, and it was overall a really good DLC. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about some FNAF Security Breach Ruin theories that I have after finishing the game and getting all the endings. And I'm also going to be disproving some theories that are happening in the community. And real quick, here is your spoiler warning. There are going to be lots of spoilers in the video for all the endings of Security Breach, plus some other things that happen midway through the game. So here's your spoiler warning. Alright, spoiler warning out of the way, let's get into the video.
Happy Phasma birthday, pizza, games, and cakes! Open all your presents until your tummy aches!
Alright, so my first FNAF Security Breach Ruin theory is that the ruined Freddy that we see in game is the same as Freddy from the base game Security Breach. So as some people in the community have figured out, the canon ending for FNAF Security Breach is the Princess Quest ending, judging by the fact that in-game it shows that it has 3 stars instead of all the other ones that just have 2, and there are some things in FNAF Security Breach Ruin that prove that the Princess Quest ending is canon, like the comic pages in-game, and also the fact that the Princess Quest arcade machine has the Princess Quest sword jammed into it. In that ending for FNAF Security Breach, you can see that Freddy gets his head taken away by Gregory. In-game, whenever you go to Phasma Blast, you can see that Freddy is missing his head and is torn up on a pile of staff bots, just like the ending. Now, some people have noticed that on Freddy's foot, it says the word prototype, which some people think means that the Freddy we see in FNAF Security Breach Ruin is not the same as the one from the base game. But I have some theories and evidence to prove that this is the same as the base game Freddy. So in the official FNAF Security Breach Ruin trailer, you can look down at Freddy's foot and see that before the game release, originally, it did not have the prototype word on Freddy's foot. Now my theory is that either Steel will change this midway through production to try to throw us off whenever the game release, that this is a different Freddy, or this is the same Freddy, but they're trying to tell us that the base game Freddy is a prototype. But this point is just purely speculation, and I don't really have a lot of evidence backing this one up. Just purely speculation. Alright, next theory time.
Shut up.
Alright, so this next theory is less of a theory and more so just disproving something that's going around in the community. But Mixes, I like to call him the genie, is not the Mimic. So basically, at the ending of FNAF Security Breach Ruin, Gregory, or as I'm guessing the Mimic, tells us that the Mix's security program was designed to keep the Mimic where it was, behind the concrete wall.
The Mix's security program was designed to keep it hidden, but you shut down the security.
And in that same ending, you use the computer and you trap the Mix's security program into the box, which is basically telling us that this is Mix's. Some people still think that it's a Mimic, but it's basically been confirmed that it is indeed Mix's. Editing Panda1712 Gaming here. If you look at that same spot in the ending, you can also see that whenever the Mix's security program gets sucked into the box, you can see that the box turns off, which is basically disabling the Mix's security program. This also explains why Mixes chases you down whenever you put the Vanny mask on, because basically you're disabling the security nodes that are allowing Mixes to keep the Mimic behind the concrete wall. Alright, next theory. Alright, so I haven't read very many of the FNAF books. Like, I've only read 2 of the books, being The Fourth Closet and The Twisted Ones. And I've only listened to 2 of the Fazbear Frights books, from Dawko, reading Into the Flesh, and Count the Winds. So yeah, I don't know a lot of info on the books, but I do know a lot about the Mimic. And in the books, it is described that the Mimic wears mascot suits. Like, I don't know which suits it specifically describes, but it describes that the Mimic wears mascot suits. And in-game, in the little basement area, there are tons of mascot suits where the Mimic is, and if you get the secret ending, he puts on a mascot suit. So yeah, that's probably what the mascot suits are. I mean, I could be wrong, and this could be teasing something for the future of FNAF, but I'm pretty sure that's what the mascot suits are. Alright, next theory.
Gregory is none other than
So in FNAF Security Breach, the Burn Trap ending shows what everyone thought was Afton, but it turns out it's the Mimic. As we thought it was the Mimic. It shows Burn Trap in the FNAF 6 pizzeria. In Ruin, you can find the Mimic down under the FNAF 6 pizzeria, behind a concrete wall in the weird room with the mascot suits. Now, this may sound random for me to mention, but basically, I'm trying to say that Burn Trap is not the Mimic in design-wise, because they're not the same height. On the Mimic, you can see like a chunk of like fluff or something on his face, and you can see wires. And everybody thought that was like Afton's muscle, or Burn Trap's like muscles and some of Burn Trap's face. But no, that is the Mimic's mascot stuffing and just wires. So what I'm trying to say is that Burn Trap and the Mimic are not the same character, like model-wise. But in the lore, Burn Trap is probably infected with the Mimic virus, and the Mimic is probably controlling it, judging by the fact that it does the arm curl like the Mimic used to do, and some other stuff like that. Alright, next theory time. Alright, so this next theory is about how Monty killed Bonnie. So some people still think that the Mimic killed Bonnie, even though there's not a lot of evidence for that. But in Ruin, you can go by, if you find all of the web floor bots, and you deactivate them all, you can go to a wall in Bonnie Bowl, and you can go into a room where you can find dead Bonnie. And judging by the scratch marks along Bonnie's chest, that looks like Monty probably killed him. Also, in the Monty ride at the beginning of the game, well, near the beginning of the game, it shows how Bonnie just gave Monty the guitar because Monty was looking up to them, like admiring them, which I'm guessing is just Fazbear Entertainment trying to tell a different story for how Monty actually killed Bonnie. So, you know, that's my theory for how Monty killed Bonnie. Alright, next theory. Alright, so this last theory is less of a singular theory, and more so just a bunch of theories in one. But basically I'm going to talk about the future of FNAF after Ruin. So later this year, we still have the movie that's going to be releasing in October. And we're also going to be having Help 1 to 2 sometime probably after the movie's released to keep the FNAF hype going. And I personally have a theory that around whenever the FNAF movie releases, that's when the new Fortnite Mares event's going to be starting, which means we could get a FNAF collab in Fortnite. This one doesn't have a lot of evidence supporting it. But also, we're going to be having Help 1 and 2 later this year, and I personally think that you may be playing as Cassie's dad, as Cassie's dad gets mentioned multiple times in Ruin, and someone else had a similar theory in one of their videos. If I can find their specific video or channel, I will post it in a comment below. Alright, so those are all of my theories that I had after playing FNAF Security Breach Ruin. If you have any more theories I should talk about in the part 2 to this, leave them down below. If you would like to support the channel, you can like the video or subscribe. That is all for today's video. Goodbye.